In this video we're going to review the Western Digital Elements desktop external hard drive. This particular model has 2 terabytes worth of capacity, or 2000 gigabytes, so it's massive amounts of storage space. Western Digital say that will allow you to store up to 571,000 photos, or 500,000 songs, or 152 hours of video. If that's not quite enough storage space for you, it's also available in other capacities which go all the way up to 3 terabytes. The best advice when buying storage is to always buy the biggest size you can afford, because it won't take as long as you think to fill up 2 terabytes. Even if you don't need the extra capacity now, you might find it invaluable in the future. These desktop drives have the capacity to hold a lot more data than portable drives, and you'll usually find that the cost per gigabyte is a lot cheaper than those offered by portable ones. In terms of looks, it looks good. So it's got matte finish top and bottom, and then on the side it's kind of a glossy black size, and as you might be able to see, it's already picking up kind of fingerprint marks, so it is a fingerprint magnet, and it attracts the dust. It's got rounded corners, and then here is where the AC adapter, the power supply, plugs in, and that's where the USB plugs in, and there's a small, there we can see where the light goes on when it's actually transferring. It blinks when data is being transferred onto the unit. On the base you've got these 4 rubber feet which help it stop sliding on your desk. It's designed to sit flat as opposed to on its side like some of the other Western Digital drives. Overall it feels, robustly constructed. It weighs 2.24 pounds, so although it's classed as a desktop drive, it's not too heavy to be moved around, and it's actually quite small for a desktop drive. So if we look at the dimensions, so if we look at the length, so it's about 7 inches in length. It's about 4.5 inches width. And then the height is about 1.4, 1.5 inches in height. So this drive doesn't come with any backup software, which many people actually prefer because they find that the preloaded software can be annoying and a bit more hassle than a help. Plus it takes up space on the hard drive. So it's a question of doing manual backups. Very easy to do. It's just drag and drop files onto the hard drive. That said, there's plenty of other backup software out there, and a lot of computer operating systems include backup software, such as Windows, and Apple have built-in Time Machine is integrated into many of their operating systems, which help you do backups. So it's powered by a separate power cable, so it's not powered by USB like most portable drives. You actually need an external power supply. So I'll just show you that plugging in. So it just plugs in as such. In terms of the length of the power cable, when we measured it earlier, it's about 67 inches in length, so it's quite long. So it works with both PC and Mac. It comes formatted NTFS for Windows, so it will need reformatting if you've got a Mac, but don't worry, reformatting for Mac is very easy. It will take you less than a minute. So in terms of how this connects to your computer, so it connects via USB, so let's plug that in there. So it plugs in there. Then this end here will then connect into your computer. So it's USB 2.0, which is the most common type of interface, and it will work with most computers. In terms of the length of the USB cable, again, when we measured it earlier, it's approximately 47 inches in length. USB 2.0 means that data will be transferred from your computer to this external hard drive up to 480 megabits per second, which is fast. There are faster interfaces available like USB 3.0, eSATA and FireWire, but you're going to be paying much more for them. So the speed of data transfer, the speed at which data transfers from your computer onto this drive, also depends on how fast the hard drive within this enclosure, within this case, actually spins. So the faster the drive spins, the faster your data is going to be backed up. And it's measured in rotations per minute, which is RPM. This drive spins at 7,200 RPM, whereas most portable drives spin at 5,400 RPM. So, as we touched on earlier, there's a small white light on the back of the drive which tells you when it's working. So when data is being transferred from your computer onto the hard drive, this drive blinks. So some people see it being positioned on the back of the drive as a benefit, because at night time you haven't got this annoying blinking light, whereas some people see it as a negative because they prefer it to be on the front of the unit so they can actually see when the drive is working. So the drive, in terms of the power, what happens is it will turn on and off with your computer, and if it's not being used it will enter into an idle mode, which is helpful because it helps save power. When it's operating, when it's working, we found it very quiet. There's actually no fans in this unit, so there's no annoying buzzing. So even though it is a fanless design, we found it ran very cool. It only got slightly warm under very heavy use over long periods of time, but in the main it stayed very cool, which is great news because heat reduces the reliability and the lifetime of electronic components, which are obviously inside this drive. So this has been the review for the Western Digital Elements desktop external hard drive. Overall, we found it's a fantastic drive, very reliable, and we'd highly recommend it for both professionals and beginners. There's loads of storage space. It's an excellent buy. Thanks very much for watching this video review.